There are seasons when getting out of bed feels heavier than it should. Not because something bad has necessarily happened, but instead because discouragement or defeat has quietly settled in. Many people assume that faith begins when hope returns, but scripture often shows the exact opposite, that our hope follows obedience, not the other way around. In Isaiah 60, verse 1, it says, "Arise and shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you." If you know the context of this scripture, Isaiah wasn't speaking to people who were walking in confidence, in victory, and hope. Instead, he was actually talking to a people who were weary, who were worn down. They just lived through loss, uncertainty, and our God does not tell them to just feel hopeful or feel better. Instead, he says, "Go, arise," not meekly, not with some intimidation, but instead with confidence, with boldness. You see, this rising, as the scripture talks about, is not emotional optimism or some type of ignorance. Instead, it is an act of trust. The reason they can rise is not because circumstances are easy, but instead because God's glory is already with them, is already with you, present here. Faith moves first. Feelings, I know in my own life, often follow next. I want to just ask you some questions as we close out that you can reflect on. Where in your life have you been waiting to feel better before taking the next step or moving forward? And what step of obedience might God be inviting you into today that you may not be expecting? And lastly, what would it look like to rise not in your strength or knowledge or confidence, but instead with intention and trust in what you know in your heart and what you know in the scripture right here, right now?